Hello, Gemini. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Gemini is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. If there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Gemini, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And here we have the Devil card. This is a very ambitious card. I feel like you're kind of in this like no nonsense, no distractions, no holds barred kind of energy right now. I feel like you have an intense creative power, an intense ambition. You have this stamina, this endurance. You're running up a mountain right now, and I don't know what that mountain is yet. But I feel as if this is really a self-reliance. You know, I think you're somebody that you value others greatly. You value your friends, your family, your loved ones. You like those connections. You want to have people in your life, right? But right now, I feel like you're very much focused on your own efforts, okay? And I don't know, maybe did something happen where you kind of understood that maybe this is a solo trip for you? Because I feel like with the Devil energy here, there's kind of a little bit of a lone wolf kind of energy. It's kind of like, well, if no one's going to help me, I'm just going to do it myself. And so it may be a situation where you kind of tried to get other people on board. They weren't really interested. Well, you've got the passion, you've got the power, and maybe this is your mountain to climb and nobody else's, right? You have an intense drive to create, and this is the generative drive. We're trying to generate, right? Happiness, success, fulfillment, trying to generate wealth, love, and specific things. If this is a home, if this is if you have certain goals in mind and certain kind of a timeline here, we're trying to generate the life we want, right? We have to be careful with this card, though, because it is the Devil after all, right? This card could very easily become a pleasure-seeking drive or an aggressive drive, and particularly the aggressive drive kind of puts us in an energy where we reject other people, and we keep ourselves kind of lonely by barking at everybody that gets close. Okay, so we have to be careful with that. I'm not saying that's what you're doing, but we have to be careful. This is very, very potent energy. Okay, this is really, really good. So let's see maybe what the mountain is that you're climbing, or where we're directing all of this creative force. Wow. Ace of Pentacles. Look at that. That is a beautiful card. You may notice we're using a different version of the Thoth Tarot. This is the Millennium Thoth Tarot by Renata Lechner, released by Lo Scarabeo. I'm just giving it a test drive. It's still the Thoth Tarot. I like it. I think it's really good. It's been giving us some very interesting readings lately. Ace of Pentacles, right? This is the mountain that you're climbing, and I look at this as being, you're almost at the summit. I know most of the time we see an ace, we think, well, it's just the beginning. I look at this as being the summit. I think the 10 is the base of the mountain. And the more we climb, the higher we get, the more narrow it gets, until you get to the very top. And we get to that ace. We get to the highest, the highest conception of success on this mountain, whatever this mountain is. Could be a spiritual mountain, right? This could be the very highest point of the mountain, of that peak spiritual experience, right? Peak life experience. When we're down at the base of the mountain, when we have the tens and it's really wide at the base, there's a lot of options. There's a lot of room for experimentation. A lot of things we can try and just, that didn't work. A lot of different paths we could take. A lot of variety. We can make some mistakes. It doesn't, it's a little bit more easy. There's more slack, right? The higher we get, the more dangerous it gets. The more you really are walking this tightrope. There are no choices up here. There is no room for mistake. You have to watch your step at every moment. We have to be vigilant. It's a lot more dangerous up here. The closer you get to the summit, it's the death zone, right? I watched this show called Everest. I almost feel like we've done this reading before for you. Or maybe this was a different sign. But you get up to near the summit of Everest, and it's the death zone. Because it literally is that if you do not have oxygen and very warm clothes, you will not last more than a few minutes, right? And so it is that elevation above which nothing can really survive, nothing can live, right? And so I kind of feel like we're at that point now. We're so close to the finish line of something that it's very important that you are careful, that you're not popping the corks on the champagne bottles yet. You're watching your feet. You're being very cautious of every step. Now, more than ever, it is crucial that you watch your step, okay? Because we are so close. We are so close. And with this devil energy, we have to continue with that force, but it doesn't mean that we're running. Right? You can walk quickly. You can walk with a lot of intention and a lot of power. We don't have to run and make mistakes. We don't have to try to rush and go too fast. Okay? Because we are almost there, and I think this will be the beginning of a new life for you. When we reach the summit of this thing, let's look underneath. Princess of Pentacles. Yeah, that's the new life that you're dreaming of. This is what you want. This is what is within your soul, this kind of the infinite manifestation of this. I really feel that whatever you're accomplishing now is going to change your life. This is your new life, where kind of like it's almost the Midas touch. Everything you get involved with is successful. And this might really be this summit, the ace here. This might be the beginning of that life where you have the opportunity to now kind of grow whatever you want. So it maybe is a financial freedom. I think it is certainly a very, very big fortune for you. Whether it's financial, physical, spiritual, emotional, I don't know. It seems financial. So far we have all three earth cards: Capricorn, Devil Energy, Earth card. It feels like this is really a very fortunate time for you. And I feel like you already kind of know what you're going to do with it. You already have this ideal in mind of everything you want to create. It's like if I were to ask you, well, what's your ideal home? Your house, your living situation. What would you do? I think you know what size house, how many rooms, what each of those rooms would be. You would know what color. You would know what kind of yard. You would know what the flowers are around the house, what kind of bushes. You would know what kind of land you have, what kind of trees are in that land, what kind of animals are out there, right? What kind of wildlife is out there in your forest, right? I think you've got it all in mind. You've got this vision of your life, and I feel like you're so close now to achieving that, which will make all of this possible. But yeah, very, very nice. I love that. Behind everything, Nine of Wands. Yes, of course, that is the power, right? The Nine of Wands, I think, is kind of like the internal mechanism of the Devil card. It is that strength, right? Nine of Wands is strength. And it kind of looks like you against the world, right? It's you with these eight other wands, kind of, the group of wands in the background. So it feels like it's kind of you on this solo expedition up Mount Everest here. But the Nine of Wands gains its strength. Where does all this strength and ambition come from? Well, I think it comes from the connection between the sun and the moon itself, right? From your conscious mind being connected with your unconscious mind, right? From your human energy being connected with your spiritual energy. From having that kind of holistic nature to you. I think you've done the inner work. I think you've connected with Spirit. I think that you have endured a lot of hardships in your life. We think of the Nine of Wands and say the Rider-Waite-Smith, someone who's just holding the wand and is just really bruised and battered, got the bandage on the head. Really looks like they've been through a fight. Yeah. And I think you have. And I think that your commitment, your integrity, your purpose has been tested considerably throughout the years. And even when you think you may have failed, you've won. Because you've endured it, right? And it may not, maybe you lost the fight. But that's okay. You got back up again. And you kept doing it. You went and did it again, And my wife and I, my wife does tea leaf readings. She's over at Ula Tea Leaf Readings. We have a 4-year-old daughter, just turned 4. She's a Gemini. She's in jiu-jitsu. And they do these little practice kind of matches where they will have to grab the opponent's legs and try to pull the legs out from under, and then they land on their back, And they're all very gentle with each other, and they know how to fall. They've learned their break falls. But our daughter's the littlest one. She's the youngest, and she's the littlest one in the class. And she tends to end up on her back a lot, in these little matches. And she kind of gets discouraged, She said, I keep losing. I said, you're not losing. I said, you're every time that you get up and you go back and you try again, you're winning, right? That's the consistent effort. That's in a couple of years, maybe even a year, she's going to be, she's going to continue to get better and better and better and stronger and develop her skills and all this stuff and find the motivation to keep going and keep doing this because she will find that she's going to start, sort of winning more and more, where she's going to get the upper hand on the other kid, and it's really fun to watch, and they have a great time. And they are very gentle, and the coaches and everything are wonderful. But my point is that it is that consistent returning to the mat, returning to the arena or whatever it is, keep returning to the dojo, even when we're feeling discouraged, even when we feel like I just lost that match. But I'm still going to get up, and then I'm going to go and shake hands, and we're going to do it again. And maybe I'll end up on my back again, who knows? But I feel as if this is success. This is you winning. This is you making progress because you're getting stronger and stronger and stronger. You show me someone who has succeeded one time, and I bet you they've failed a bunch. Yeah. I feel like the people who are the absolute very best at jiu-jitsu, right, the real champions, they're the ones that have probably been knocked on their butt millions of times, that they've ended up, flat on the mat countless times. That's what makes them so strong. That's what makes them champions, right? And so you've got this anyway in the background, but I feel like it does come from a subconscious, unconscious depth in you where you have this strength because you know your purpose. And I think that's a very important thing, that this that this is right. And I think this is why, too, that you're able to say, well, fine, if no one wants to come with me, I'm doing it by myself. Because you have that confidence and that certainty that this is the right thing. Yeah. Let's see what's up above us. An 8 of Cups. Interesting. Interesting to have the 8 of Cups. I think this goes right in with what we were just talking about and how we kind of, we end up on the mat, we end up flat on our backs sometimes, and we feel like we're failing, right? And so the 8 of Cups in that sense could be, man, this glass is half empty. Every time I land on my back, a little bit more water drains out of this thing, and I start kind of losing interest. I start feeling that I don't like it anymore. And this is exactly what I said my daughter was kind of going through. She's just like, I don't want to go because I keep losing, But I think now she's starting to look at it as she doesn't mind, the falling down, because she knows that she gets to get up and do it again. And then she has those times where she does kind of come out on top and knock the other person over. And I feel that she's starting to fill up these cups. So it really is about perspective. We can say glass half empty, the glass is cracked, and the water keeps leaking. Or we could say, you know what, I've sealed up the cracks, and I'm just going to keep filling up, and I'm going to fill the water up. Every time I get up and enter the ring, a little bit more water goes in there. Maybe I end up on my back, that's okay. I'm going to get up and I'm going to go back to the mat. And I'm going to keep doing it. That's the tenacity that really is going to allow you to achieve this, right? And allow you to fill up this kind of that self-esteem bucket in a way, you know? And so I feel like this is good. I feel like this is kind of what we're consciously working on. And you've gone through periods where I think you were ready to quit, but you didn't. And that's the key. That instead of letting the water continue to drain out of this, we plug the leak. And then we just start filling the water back up. And you know, the 8 of Cups can become a 9 of Cups. Here we have adjustment. So it tends to be the way we look at it. Of course, like I said, that's determining our experience of this big push up the mountain, right? But with the adjustment card, I feel that this is us trying to stay in balance, and it's very important when we're talking about the Devil card and the death zone that we're in, right? Because, like I said, when you're this elevation, it's very dangerous. You have to be really on the straight and narrow. You have to walk that tightrope, and that's kind of what this card reminds me of. You have to be very careful. Every step has to be measured and purposeful and intentional right now because you're so close to the summit. There's no room for mistakes. There's no room to kind of say, maybe I want to go walk over there. Maybe I took the wrong path. I'm going to go switch it up. Now's not the time to second guess yourself. Now is not the time to try to change lanes, you know? And I think that's what this card is about, trying to stay on the straight and narrow, trying to stay in balance, you know? I also feel like this card is really about you making the right connections going forward in your life. This is the way forward, of course, balance and getting to the very summit here. But in terms of a future position, a future card, I think it really is about the right kind of networking, the right kind of like business deals almost, right? That we've got to, you don't want the devil to become that pleasure-seeking drive or that aggressive drive, because then I feel like we're going to make the wrong connections. So we keep that generative drive and we realize that, okay, no matter how good I feel, no matter how I just want to take all this money and just, you know, party with it or whatever, I got to make the right choices. I got to make the right investments, the right connections. You're starting the right kind of businesses. You're making the right deals. You're signing the right kind of contracts, and it's very business-like. You have to do everything well and with business way. Yeah. And that, I think, is how we are really able to produce this kind of ideal life going forward. Making sure that we, as you know, jazzed up as we're going to be, as happy as we're going to be overjoyed with this unexpected fortune. We have to maintain our composure. You have to be professional, right? And I think that's going to serve you well into the future. Let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. And do one more time. This is the factor infinite and unknown, and just that one, Mr. Ed, right on top. We're not going to look at that card until the very end. It will tie everything together. It will give us the confirmation that we need. If you have a prediction for that card, drop it down in the comments. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It's totally free. It doesn't cost anything, but it really does help the channel, and I really do appreciate that. I really, really do. Also, let me know what you think about this new tarot pack. Again, it's not my daily driver. I still have the old, trusty, well-worn Thoth Tarot. But I like the images on this, and I feel like the energy really works. Let me know what you think. We're going to do general energy now with the Path of the Serpent. 5 of Swords. Now we get into this area of it kind of goes with the adjustment card. It goes with this idea of making connections and making the right deals and signing the right contracts and all that sort of very professional, very business-like kind of thing. At the same time, I feel that there is still that issue with your loved ones, with the people, the personal people in your life. This is very professional people here. Where are the personal people? Where are the people that you're sharing this with? Okay, that's what I want to see. And the Five of Swords is this idea of defeat. It's this idea of, yeah, I've won, but I want someone to share it with. Okay? And so we have to learn how to kind of come out of that devil energy, right? And get back to the love, right? Because the devil energy, yeah, it can be very solitary, very isolating. I've got the blinders on, I'm focused on my mountain, and that's what I'm doing. And that's good. That's that driving force. But then we get there and we have to now say, okay, I need some other things too. I've got to kind of open up and let some other energies in. Okay? And I kind of feel that's what is going on here. We're just kind of wondering, okay, where are all my friends and family, right? And in the environment, we have a Prince of Wands. Interesting now with the Prince of Wands, because this is a card that kind of says you have to stay committed and you have to keep going. You have to stay fixed in your creative energy. Okay? So in a way, it's saying that this devil energy is what gets us to the top of the mountain, and then once we get there, that fire energy needs to continue. That ambition needs to continue, but in a more steady kind of way, right? That it does not wane, right? But maybe the idea of this card in the environment is asking us to look at the connection with what's underneath the surface. This is the life we are trying to build. This is the ambition and the effort to continue doing that into the future. After that, this is a big, unexpected kind of fortune. This is you get into the summit of the mountain, then we make the right moves in the future, and we can continue fire to earth, continue manifesting and working toward building this best life, right? But there is still, where's the room for the other people? And maybe we have to realize that in this ideal future life, do you see your connections? Do you see your family, your friends, your people? Are they in here? Okay. So we need some more cards, because the Prince of Wands is very steady. It's not running up the hill like the Devil card might be. It's a very consistent energy that shows up every day and is continue. This is someone that wakes up at 4 a.m. Every morning to go and to tend the garden and to take care of the animals and to do all the chores around the property, right? Every day, right? But where's the joy, right? What we see is a tendency toward perhaps some dissatisfaction, especially with the Five of Swords. It's kind of like, I have all of this fortune, I have this wonderful life that I've set up for myself, but how can I enjoy it? How can I really feel good about this? Maybe the next card, maybe we need some people around. Oh yeah, there we go. See, lovers. We want someone to share it with. And that's the Lovers card. Doesn't have to be romantic love. I know I can hear the groans. It might be romantic love. Maybe that is what's missing here. It's just someone to share this big win with, right? It's like you're buying a house and you're trying to really, you're excited and you're happy, and the realtor's just very professional and just like, okay, sign here, thank you, goodbye. And you're like, wait, no, let's go celebrate. Let's go, let's go out to dinner. Let's go to the house and whatever. And it's just it's the wrong context, right? We don't party with our realtors. So it feels like there's this very business side of things, but then it's like we want someone that we can really just like jump for joy with, and someone that can be excited for us and celebrate with us. And we have this idea of we're being there for people. When people are down, that's when people like to show up, But when you're up, do people still like to show up? Maybe they do. Maybe it's not the kind of people we want, but I think that's a discussion for maybe a different reading. The Lover's card here, though. This is in the difficulty. This is in the fear, worry, concern. This might even be in kind of the idea of like what's missing here. And that's the family connection. That's the friend connection. That's the spiritual, emotional bond with other people in a very personal way. Family, friends, romantic partners. Okay, not business partners, not associates, not people we have contracts with, not vendors, not people that come over to do contracting work at the house or the realtor or anything. This is those personal people that are there for you when you are up. And I feel like this is what we need to focus on. This is what we need to include. We need to find ways to incorporate these sorts of connections. Yeah. And, you know, let's put the last card down here. We've got the Death card. I think really, like I said at the very beginning, it felt like there was maybe something had happened where you wanted to get other people involved and you kind of just ended up doing something by yourself. It's time to now not hold on to any resentment about that and call those people up and say, hey, come on over and celebrate with me. So the Death card is kind of saying, let's let bygones be bygones with those people and reconnect with our loved ones. And maybe you've just been so in that devil energy that you've kind of ignored some of your personal relationships. Well, it's time to work on restoring those. You know, it's time to now, we still have to be consistent with the Prince of Wands. It's still time for activity. Right? See, we notice we don't have any other kind of water energy here. We had the Eight of Cups, but we don't have anything here that says, okay, now you just get to sit down, relax, and put your feet up for the rest of your life. No, it's kind of like this is changing everything, and you've got a lot of work still to do to maintain that and to build it and to grow it. At the same time, you've got to have that very consistent Prince of Wands energy, but we also need that Lover's energy and that Death energy, especially the Lovers, because I feel like this is what the real focus is, making those intimate connections with people again, strengthening your bonds with your family, your friends, your loved ones, your pets, your plants, your people. Yeah. It's a shifting of focus a little bit. I'm going to emphasize this, we're going to stick with the consistent fixed fire energy of the Prince of Wands. You're still going to be taking care of business every day and doing the hard work and showing up and putting in the effort to manifest and to continue growing this life. And this is kind of the background energy, right? It's always going to be there. But maybe the focus now is on, we're creating that really wonderful backyard patio kind of thing, right? Now we get the family over and we have a barbecue. Okay? Well, of course, you're still doing the work every day to keep it going and to build it and to grow it. We've got to start thinking about who we're going to invite over. Yeah. Let's look at the mystery card. The Death card, of course, is showing this being really a life-changing thing. I wonder if this really is an unexpected fortune. Right? That's kind of throwing you into a new realm of business or of life or of networking connections and activities that you never knew anything about before, right? And maybe you're becoming a homeowner and you realize that, okay, I have to learn about, realty and property law and taxes and contractors and all these sorts of home repair and maintenance kinds of things, that you're learning a lot of new things. Right? Maybe this was something quite unexpected. But let's see about this mystery card. Maybe I want to see something about people, right? I want to see Three of Cups. I want to see the World card. Maybe the Lover's card again. Maybe a Six of Cups. Nine of Cups, 10 of Cups. Let's see what we have. If you have a prediction, put it in the comments. Well, it's the Queen of Cups. Also, I should point out that the Lover's card, Gemini, is your power card. And I forgot to ring the bell. So we'll do that now. This is your superpower card. Okay? And like I said at the very beginning, you're you're someone who really values your friends, your family, and your connections. You love your people, and you need people in your life. You like to have that kind of very tight-knit social network, with your friends and your family. And I feel like right now that's where the emphasis needs to return to that. Okay. Through this big unexpected fortune, this life-changing event, we have to refocus on that. Okay. And I think that's what the Queen of Cups is doing, realizing what is truly important to us. It's one thing to have this huge castle and all the grounds, all the land around it. But if it's an empty castle, no, we want the fireplace going. We want the kids running around. We want the banquets. We want our friends and family over. Right? We want to paint the walls, whatever that means. And so I feel like this is really us. In some ways, this could be you sitting in this castle, sitting in your throne, surrounded by all this abundance, and you're just kind of slumped down and you're thinking, oh, I wish I had something. There's a little bit of longing here. So I think in order to kind of prevent that from happening, we need to start focusing on that now and realizing, okay, what does this place need to really bring the life to it? Okay? Because this is a life-changing thing for you, and we don't want to be isolated. You got to share it with your people, Share it with those people that will show up for you when you're up. This is really, I'm excited for you. We're going to do an extended reading too if you want to stick around. There's a link up top. There's one down below. New readings for Gemini every Monday and Friday, but I'm here every day. Just come back, see me again tomorrow. I'm here 6 to 8 a.m. Chicago time. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It is totally free. It doesn't cost anything. Leave a comment. Let me know where in the world you're watching from, especially if this is your first time here. I would love to hear from you. I want all of you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you, and we're all in this together.